junior college baseball in the country. Okay, there's all kinds of professional baseball players from our conference. You can make a pretty good Major League All-Star team from guys that played in our conference. Okay, it's as good as it gets in junior college baseball. So that's something that works in our favor. Obviously, being in Phoenix, okay, helps us. We have had a lot of out-of-state guys that have not all of them, but for the most part, we get very good players, okay, from out of state. We don't get a lot, but we do get, we have anywhere from 4 to 6 every year. This year, I think we have 8. No Hawaiian guys this year, though, so we're trying. I have contacts over there. They help me out, but it's just hard because of the financial side of things. We do have what's called the WUI and the WUI exchange program. So just to give you an idea of what a benefit that is, if you're from, let's say, New York, okay, it costs about $6,000 a semester for tuition, fees, and books. Okay, someone in the WUI program, which Hawaii and Arizona, we share that. It's like $2,300 per semester, and that's just tuition, fees, and books. Okay, so there's a big discount between out of state and the WUI program. In state is like $600 less. So the gap is not really wide if you're in state compared to the WUI. Okay, it's almost the same thing. $500 is a lot of money, but in the big picture, it's not when it's your college education. Okay, so that helps us a lot with out of state players, unless they're from the Midwest or the East Coast. And then it gets a little tougher. But we've had some from those parts of the country as well. Okay, so we've had a little bit of success recruiting Hawaii players. Would like to continue to do so, but we want good players that can come in here and play. And so those types of players, they get offered scholarships from other places, and they take that scholarship. I understand that. I get that, and I have no problem with that. However, we've been very lucky. I mean, our out-of-state players that we've had have gone to University of Alabama. They've gone to Gonzaga. They've gone to ASU, Grand Canyon. So, I mean, we've had out-of-state players that are really good players, and we have some on this year's team as well. Of the 8 out-of-state players, 3 are already getting recruited by Division I schools, so they're good players, and that's what we're trying to get to. The 2 Hawaii players we had, their catcher was a Division I player, but he didn't have grades to go Division I, so he went to a high-end NAIA school, and I think his team went to the World Series. And then our right-handed pitcher was kind of a bullpen guy for us, and he went to a Division II school in Nebraska. They got their degree, they graduated, they're doing great. Okay, and they're both back home actually. So anyways, any questions? That's a quick rundown on us as far as the way I coach, what I try to push on our team, teach our team. Is there's really 4 things, okay, that I stress, and in a weird way, none of it has to do exactly with baseball, and in a weird way, again, it has everything to do with baseball. Okay, and the 4 things that I stress to our players, to our coaches, is number 1 is to play hard. Okay, is to play hard, and play hard by what I believe playing hard is. Okay, we're generally a program where our teams play hard. Right now, this year, our fall, we don't play as hard as I think we need to. It's a work in progress. We'll get there, but it's a work in progress. Okay? The second thing is to compete, and I mean really compete, because you're going to be playing against, in this conference, you're going to be playing against really good players. You're going to be playing against guys that are going to be going to Arizona State, Arizona, maybe even LSU, okay, professional baseball, guys that are going to end up in the big leagues. So you're going to be competing against really good players. So you've got to compete. We have to beat those guys, just like they have to beat our guys, okay? So you really have to compete. And the third one, and this could be the hardest one, is to not feel sorry for ourselves. Bad body language, you become a bad teammate. So let's say you're playing hard and you compete, but you lose, because that can happen. And you lose, how do you react? Let's say I'm a pitcher and you give up a bomb. And the tying run that was on third scores, And the winning run, the guy that hit the home run, he scored. So now you're losing by a run. Okay? And whose fault is that? Coach? Well, our catchers call their own games. So is it the catcher's fault because he called the wrong pitch? Is it the coach's fault because we gave a bad scouting report? Is it the outfielder because he didn't climb the fence? Or you just make a bad pitch and we make the next one a good one? Okay, so it's hard. It's hard. And you've got to, you want to win. You want to play well in the fall. You're trying to make a team. So, but I stress those things a lot. Play hard, compete, and not feel sorry for ourselves. Okay, and going on 12 years now, we've never been perfect. We've never been perfect, but we're still trying. Okay, and then the fourth thing is individual development. We get a lot of reps. We practice to get our guys better. We try to teach our guys. We have a Rapsodo that helps out our pitchers. Okay. We use the blast device. Every hitter has a blast device so that we can get analytics on our pitchers, on our hitters. We take times with our infielders. We use times with our catchers, not necessarily pop times, but like release times, quick from catch to the ball leaving your hand, technique, video. We do all that stuff because we want our guys to get better. Okay, and the idea is if we get the better each of our guys get, the better of a team we become. Okay? Now, the other set of bad news that we fall in, just like every other college in the country, is we make cuts. We carry about 40 people in the fall. This year we have 41, and then we cut to 30. So, I mean, guys are working their tails off to make the team first, and then you got to worry about playing time and that sort of thing. We have cut returning guys in years past. I've cut returning guys that were on scholarship in years past because after their freshman year, maybe they were starters as freshmen, and they feel pretty good about themselves, and they should. But then they forget the work they put in to get that job, and they take the summer off, or too much of the summer off, and they're not in the weight room, they're not throwing, they don't go play. And they're not getting better. Well, what do you think the new guys are doing? They're working, right? And they beat that guy out. And if there's enough guys that beat that guy out, guess what happens? He gets cut. Okay, so the only reason I go into that bit of bad news is you can never quit working. You can never quit working. How many of you guys weightlift religiously? Okay, 1, 2, 4 guys that religiously weightlift. If you're serious about playing college baseball, if you're really serious about hopefully becoming a professional, you better get in the weight room. You better get in the weight room, and you need to do correct stuff in the weight room, not football lifts, but baseball lifts. Okay, you guys watch the playoffs, right? That just started in the big leagues. Okay, you see how big those guys are? They're absolute monsters. It's shocking when you see them in person. How they're just monsters. How big they are, and they're not like football big. They're just big human beings, and they're just ridiculously strong. And yet they're fast, because that's still a big part of our game is being fast, being quick. Okay, but if you're not strong, you're going to get completely overwhelmed by guys that do. Okay, I have some really good players in our program that did not weightlift religiously. Okay, some of the best players we've ever had, but they weren't weightlift guys. They weren't in the weight room, and they couldn't even get a Division I scholarship. And they were better than some of the D1 guys we have because they just got passed up. Okay, so I can't stress to you guys enough. You need to get in the weight room. You have to find a way. You have to find a way. Okay, and if you don't have the weight room, you don't have access to it for all the reasons that there are, then you need to find stuff to do with just body weight. Okay, there's a ton of stuff, body weight stuff. Okay, we do it out here. We do a lot of body weight stuff out here with our team. Okay, but then we hit the weight room still. Okay, so we're kind of two-timing it. But you can do body weight stuff, which is probably more than a lot of you guys are doing now. But that weight room, guys, that is the biggest weakness anymore of baseball players that come into our program. Okay, and we've had two sport guys, like football, baseball guys, that they lift for football, But then when they get to baseball, oh, I'm strong enough, and they quit lifting during the baseball season, and now they're weak again. They're not strong enough. They've lost a lot of their strength, which was an advantage that they had, and now they lost it. So you got to get in the weight room. Okay, 4 out of how many guys, Coach? 12?
14.
14, so 12, 4 out of 14.
Opportunities to get
enough.
better, yeah.
That's not enough. Not if you're serious. Okay, if you want to be a high school baseball player and you're good with that, hey, that's great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. That's probably my son. I don't think my son's gonna be 12. I don't think he wants to play when he's 13. That's okay. Okay, it's okay. But if you're serious about trying to move on, you better get in the weight room. You better get in the weight room. Okay, I'm telling you, Dustin Pedroia, who's not overly tall. Imagine how strong that guy is. Okay, what's the Houston Astros?
Altuve.
Okay, there's probably an argument he's the smallest guy in the big leagues, but he might be one of the strongest guys in the big leagues on a per pound, how much he can lift on a per pound compared to how much he weighs. Okay, guys, weight room. Okay, you can't hide from it anymore. Okay, if you're serious about moving on. Okay, even if speed is your game, okay, and you can come in here and steal 50 bases, and that's your game, you still got to get in the weight room. And you have to do it so you can maintain your speed. So there's different ways to lift for different types of people, different types of game. It's that specific anymore. Okay, TCU, Texas Christian University. I don't know if UH does this. I haven't heard this about them, but I know I've heard it about Texas Christian, LSU, Vanderbilt, those high-end programs. Their players come into the baseball facility every morning and they get a shake. Okay? But let's say they have 35 guys on their team, they could be 35 different types of shake. For each player has their specific shake based on they do blood tests and all that stuff, but it depends on what your deficiencies are. And that shake is made just for that guy. Okay? They have specific weight room routines. Okay? Unfortunately we're not that advanced here. We don't have that type of support system, and that's junior college baseball in general. Okay, but I bring that up because I want you guys hopefully understand how specific things are getting now. This analytics thing it never ends. Okay, because once you have a certain number of analytics, then you're like, okay, well, let's break this down even more, and let's break it down even more, and even more, and even more, and even more. Now they got non-baseball people running major league programs. They have non-baseball people. Okay, one of my pitching coach from last year was hired at Dallas Baptist University. Okay, last January, and his job is he runs the analytics for pitchers, and they have a different guy who does analytics for hitters at Dallas Baptist University. Okay, which is a small program, but they're spending a lot of money on it. And then he told me that they spend more money in 1 week on shakes and nutrition for their players than he spends in a month. Okay, so even the smaller programs, that's just what you have to do now. Okay, and obviously you got to stay legal and all that good stuff. Okay, we had a guest speaker just this Friday. He talked about he was an All-American at University of Nevada, signed with the Diamondbacks, and then got popped for HGH. He never played again. He never played again. He served his 50-game suspension. He was released by the Diamondbacks, and he couldn't re-sign with another team. Okay, so you have to do it legally, but man, you got to get in the weight room. Okay, there's no shortcuts, not anymore. That's why big league baseball is so good anymore. I mean, look at these pitchers, look at these hitters. I mean, guys are throwing 100 and they get hit. That's what's shocking to me. Guys that just absolutely throw filth and they get freaking hit. I was like, oh my God, I'd be dead.
We took them to the fall league game last night, so we got to see.
Yeah, those guys aren't even in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't even
popping
in the big
97,
leagues.
98.
Will be, but they're not yet. It's crazy. It's crazy how big. So, I mean, even those guys, as young as they are monsters. They're monsters. So, anyway.